thank you. We prayed, we believed, we're energized, we're going. It's our first time, so people should just have consideration for us.
Of
And
course.
for everyone that has been waiting, we say we're sorry. We tried, we've been trying it out, but God knows what happened. And so they said before we interact with this. So good day, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are all over the world. And thank you for tuning in and for your patience. We do appreciate you. And to hanging out with Temi. My name is Temi Ajayi. I know you probably know me. And if you don't know me, if you are just tuning into our Facebook Live, my name is Temi Ajayi. I've been excited, but I'm, a little bit now. But I have to be excited. But as we go on, you know why I've been excited. This is not clear. It needs to be clear that the light was good before. Can we let it go? Now, I know a lot of us have been quarantined for a long time and isolated. And, tonight we're just going to talk a little bit about that, how that is affected you, if it's affected you positively or negatively or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, we might be able to get 1 or 2 tips that we're going to be able to manage whatever it is. So, but before we go forward, firstly, I'm going to share the vision of Hanging Out with Temi, the talk show. If you're watching on Temi's Facebook, no, go to Hanging Out with Temi Facebook, the talk show. So this vision of Hanging Out with Temi, it's a long-held dream of mine for as long as I can remember. But 6 years ago, it got harder. 4 years ago, it got even harder. 2 years ago, it had, and 6 months ago. Was it 6 months, ladies, that we started our first meeting? Was it last year? Sometime, that's the one. So we started, we've been having meetings. The plan was to do a big bang. We weren't meant to do this Zoom or Facebook Live. We're meant to have a destination and we plan all our glamour shots and everybody. It's not happening. We're still happy that it's happening, A guy called Pablo Picasso says, action is the key foundation, is the foundational key to all success. So to us, it's a success, and to all the ladies, it's a success story today. Previously I've been doing this myself, but who knows that 2, 3, 4 heads are better than one? I mean, they're not ghosts, but it's better than one, because if it's only you, it's just you. You can't know more than you. But when you put this resource together, then the best is yet to come. So the idea is to build community of some intelligent women to be able to share their opinions and their experiences with no bias, no prejudice, in safe and free environment. So this is what we want. This is the essence of us coming together tonight. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna address some misconception, some prejudice, some biases, and some personal interests. We're going to address them here, and we're going to stimulate you and inspire conversation in that way. My ladies that you're seeing on Facebook Live, you're seeing them, they are specifically selected, okay? They selected because of their dynamic perspective and multifaceted personalities that they're gonna bring to the table. That's why they're selected. So have a good look up at them and listen. You're gonna know more about us. Time is going, so let's start. I'm gonna start, first of all, you're gonna indulge me to introduce these dynamic and golden ladies to you. The first on the top with the green jacket, hey, say hi, is Liz. Liz Greatness, that's the Liz. Liz is a founder of Amazing Transformation, an expertise in media, in psychology, in maritime logistics. I salute you, naval officer. She's a life coach, and she's a linguistic programming, I have to think about that, linguistic programming practitioner, NLM. And, you know, she's come with all this wealth of idea from everywhere. So you wait and you listen to Liz. That's Liz. Thank you so much, Liz. Can we give Liz an applause? My next lady is Heidi. Heidi is in the pink. Heidi, give them a high five. My energetic Heidi Soliman. Heidi is a biomedical engineer, a psychosomatic therapist. So she deals with the brain and your nervous system and everything else that is happening in there. She's a life coach, a mother, an author, and everything else in the middle. So welcome, Heidi. I salute you, my friend. And my next friend is Ima. Hey, firebrand. Ima. Can you please give everyone a high five? I'm giving you a high five. I can't give you a hug. I can't give you a handshake, but that's Ima. Ima is a trauma therapist, a social worker. Our passion is about helping people to overcome their setbacks, you know, and dare to bring hopes back into them against all odds. I like that. And our commitment is to human rights and social justice. We're going to do justice to some of the topics as we go along in this journey. And my friend, my only colored friend, no, it's not only, sorry, is Helen Powell. Helen is a woman of faith, an ethicist nurse with over 30 years of experience. Helen is a founder of Mapolo Health. She deals with natural oil. She blends this oil, no matter what it is that you need to do. She'll blend it and your life will never be the same again. And she's also an author extraordinaire. Many books that she's written there. So thank you. Those are my ladies. And I need to actually mention some of the ladies, as you know, on our team that have, some of the people on our team that have been helping us for a while. One of them is Bolanle Odion. They're back end, they're not featuring at the moment. At some stage, we'll bring them on the show as well. Bolanle Odion, Mrs. Sadiq, Sumaya Sadiq Ojibra. Kudos. She's not here tonight. And our other one is Mr. Evangelist, I beg your pardon, Adeni Ekine, salute to Adeni Ekine, and then Kagri Islam is another one. I will not go past acknowledging my own husband. You know, is actually and yes, super advisor, criticizes everything, but help to put everything together. So to my husband, my pastor, everything else, Olubumi Ajayi, thank you. We appreciate you and what you do. So if you want to know more about us, you go on our Facebook. We're going to be putting things there, and also on our website. You're going to see all these women. You can tap into them personally. They've got all their portfolio individually. So if you need their help, you can reach out to them. But tonight, we're going to share a little bit about COVID-19. Our topic is on COVID-19. I don't know about you, but personally, I'm going to talk to you about the initial reaction of COVID to me. When I heard the COVID that was, happening, I was numb. Initially, I was numb. I didn't know what it was, how it's going to happen for me. And then for 5 weeks, to tell you the truth, I didn't do anything. I didn't even go to the shop. I just let the story. Things are, there's no tissue paper. There's no pasta. There's no milk. I didn't know what was happening for 5 weeks. And after 5 weeks, I was a little bit weak. Even though I was praying, I'm a woman of faith. I was confident. But I was like, it looks like this is not going to go anywhere soon. And what's going to happen, you know? Businesses are dull. I've got a boutique. You know, put a few money there, but it's shut. Nothing is happening. So I've got mixed feelings about it. But today, as of today, I'm getting better because we know things are going to get better. Because Scott Morrison, our Prime Minister, and Andrew, our, a Premier, they're already telling us all these things that is going to get better. So I believe that things are going to get better. But the thing is, the feeling that we had was there. How did we, how did we get rid of it? And how did we emit this thing? Because according to Heidi, she says it retains in our muscle, so we need to get it out. Even though we thought we're dealing with it spiritually and mentally, there's a way that we need to get it out. So I'm gonna go, who wants to go first about the initial reaction? What was your initial reaction towards COVID-19? So I might say, Helen, can you go? Oh, who is going first? Liz want to go?
We can't hear you, Liz.
We can't hear you, Liz. She's not muted.
No.
Okay, Helen, go while Liz is trying to find it, please.
Okay, so for me, I think it became real when I had to go to a training day for work. Because I'm an anaesthetic nurse, I had to go for a training day to learn what we would have to do in the process of treating a COVID positive patient. And we had to learn how to dress up and dress off. And as we approached the theatre suite where the training was being done, there was already a group in there doing their training session. And looking in through the window and seeing everybody in that room dressed up in yellow gowns and booties on their feet and helmets and face shields and N95 masks. And then seeing a plastic drape over the patient and a clear plastic drape over the anaesthetic machine. It was all very confronting to look into that room and to think, far out, man, like that's some serious stuff we're going into, and I'm about to step into that room. And it's only a training room, so it's not as a mannequin on the operating table, but it's still a very real situation that we were training for. And just, yeah, even though it was a setup, it was very confronting that what our days ahead might look like in a real life situation. So yeah, for me, I found that quite confronting. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's what I do for a job. So, and this is the situation that we're in. So yeah, you have to step into it and just do what you can and take it from there.
Wow. I can imagine how that feels on, on you, Helen, really. That must be really hard.
Yeah.
It was good before. Heidi, do you want, no, Ima, do you want to go first, please? Next, please, Ima.
I think it was sort of like surreal because I didn't quite get the enormity of what was going on.
It wasn't alone.
Yeah, so it was a bit almost like a joke. At first, it was something very distant that wouldn't really affect everybody, and that would somehow go away. And there was talks of people minimized it as just a flu, and and of course, if something is that serious, it's easier to want to think that it's just the flu, and it's not going to be that bad. But when work shut down and we all had to work from home and it was compulsory and all of that sort of stuff, and the reality started setting in, and things like not being able to catch up with friends, or or going down to the supermarket and not being able to find product.
Okay, so for me, I always feel like there is a lesson, or there is something for me to take from any situation that happens. So when this coronavirus happened, I heard how intense it was overseas, and how many people got infected in Italy, Iran, and other places. And I was, this is real numbers. For me, it didn't feel real till my daughters had to go to school, and then they didn't go to school. They stayed home. So for me, it felt like, oh my goodness, this is real stuff that day when it was back to school and the girls are doing school at home. And the other thing that happened is that a couple of my clients were doing really, like, they had lots of issues and they had to close their businesses and they had to, you know, do different things right now. And for me to listen to the stories like that and to what's happening at home, what's happening with their parents and all of this, that's when it felt really real. And, you know, here we are, we are 5 weeks now, I think 5 or 6 weeks in isolation. So it is real.
For me, the initial feelings were definitely, I had mixed emotions about, you know, what's going on. In the office, obviously, we were making jokes, you know, if somebody sneezes or if somebody coughs, you know, we were all laughing and saying, oh, there goes Corona, there goes Corona. And I think a week after that, if somebody sneezes, you know, you were looking at the person very suspiciously. Do you really have it? You know? Are you going to infect all of us? You know, that kind of a thing. Yeah, and before we know it, you know, things were really happening very fast while we were actually internalizing the fact that this is, you know, getting serious. We got the notice that we had to leave, you know, we had to work from home. And that's when I started having these mixed emotions, you know, we are migrants. So when they say you must work from home, you start thinking, what are they plotting against me? So yeah, I went through that phase where I wasn't kind of trusting, you know, what they are working on, and yeah, it really was a bit of a challenging time, you know, just that initial transition to working from home really was not so easy, but you know, we kind of settled in, and as Ima was saying, the issue of going to the grocery shop, and then I started hearing and seeing this issue of the toilet paper, you know, toilet paper, no sanitizer in the shops. Really, that was quite funny in the beginning, but eventually as we moved on, when I needed it actually for myself, I realized, but there's nothing on the shelves. It was funny, you know, just to go into the shops and see the shelves were so empty. Yeah, but that definitely was something to internalize. But other than that, really the journey for me so far was a journey of self-introspection, you know, being at home, giving me lots of time to be able to look inwardly and you know, do all sorts of assessments that needs to be done, and addressing all kinds of issues within myself, around my life, and so on. So yeah, that's coronavirus for me, how it has unfolded. Right now, I can't wait to get out to meet, you know, you guys in person, to give you guys a hug.
No,
I miss that. Yeah, I miss that real social interaction. Yeah.
I know. So I had the same mixed feelings, you know, when I heard it. And by the way, when I went to the shop, I went with my husband and one of my girls, my daughters. And do you know, we bought milk, 6 bottles, and they took 4 from us. They took 4 away.
Yeah.
There are 3 people. I still got more people at home. They said, no, we don't care. You only have 2. So they gave me 2. I've never seen that before. And I was just wondering, some kids, they drink milk like water. Fresh milk, how are they drinking? God knows how they're going to do. But yeah, going forward, I need to quickly jump into this. Going forward, what do you think? For me, going forward, I actually don't know what is going to happen. You know, I have a lot of area that I connect with. Firstly, with church. Are people going to do church like normal? Are people going to drop off? Like say, oh, we're happy doing it at home. Or are they going to be coming to church now? We don't know. Shop. I know that a lot of people are saying, I'm just going to go in and out, go get whatever I want to get in the shop, and I'm out. I'm not going to go hang around anymore in the shop as they used to do. Also, I have a boutique, like I said. I don't know. People are saying to the end of the year and to next year, there's no more party, there's no more this. So my materials there, I don't know what, I'm just talking about me, but how about those people in the bigger malls that they have thousands and thousands of products in their shops? And they pay for the rent because they have, maybe they have long lease, How are they going to feel? So I don't think anyone knows. For me, I don't know how it's going to go. I'm just taking every day as it goes. You know, with the businesses as well, with our insurance businesses are closing down. So they're going to close their insurance business, you know, policies. We got staff that we need to pay for. We got mortgage that we need to pay for. So how it's going to go, we still do not know. I think when we get there, you know, but this morning I was hearing you know, they were discussing the cabinet and saying even the job keeper, they're not looking at keeping it for long. You know, the Prime Morrison said he's believing that the businesses should be paying for the staff. So they're looking to get to all these steps, as you know, the 3 steps, and they're going to be rolling that out only if we adhere to the conditions attached to those steps. And then they will roll it out. And they're actually looking by July, we're going to get to step 3. So, which is 100. That's another thing, because in that there's no church, there's no mosque written in that, but they wrote club and pub and all that. I didn't see any of that because like 100 people gathering. So we don't know. I personally don't know how this is going. If you ask me how I'm feeling about it, I don't know. I'm numb. And that's why you're all here, to be able to tell me, you know, how am I going to do it? You know, what do we do? Do we start laying stuff off? Do we, you know, I don't know. So please, Heidi, you're doing business as well. So what do you reckon? Going forward, what do you reckon?
I think going forward, everything is context dependent. So if we're talking about the actual transmission of the virus, I put my mind at ease when I know that I will get infected, my daughters will get infected, my mom will get infected, everybody I know will get infected. So this is my own, how do I say it? You know, putting myself in a normalization process. So I said to myself, what if I get infected and everybody around is sick as well? How are we going to cope? So I thought, well, if we do, then the one thing that is going to put us in a better place is our own immune system. So to make our own immune system better, we need to, the one factor I know that makes immune system go a lot worse is fear. So this is why I started normalizing the situation for myself. So if we're talking about the actual virus or us being infected, then let's talk about strengthening our immune system. Let's talk about an action, you know, plan so we can actually implement it and we all feel better. And so therefore, this was one facet. The other one was in terms of business, you know what? I'm a smart woman. I can end up doing anything in life. So I'm going to change my career. I'm going to, you know, find something else to do. I'm going to, you know what I thought? Actually, that was a very funny thought. I had a dream that I actually invented my own ventilator. So,
I remember when this happened, you told me we should go and buy, what did you say we should buy gasoline or something to start making sanitizer? That's what you told me. I'm like, no, we're going to get there. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sell kerosene and sell petrol. I used to sell that back in Nigeria, not anymore. But that's fantastic because you're prioritizing life against every other thing. You see, in this time, we see people that lost their loved ones overseas, and they're not even able to go. How do you put closure to that? How do you put closure? It's just, you know, it's really, people want to do their wedding. And, you know, delay sometimes something could creep in when you are delaying things, you know. If you delay your wedding till next year, who knows what's going to happen? If the girl is going to find another person and the boy is going to find, I don't know. but you know, all these things is just, people will be anxious, and immune system, as you said, is a key. But my heart just go, and sometimes we got to put ourselves in that situation of those people and imagine how are we going to do. I've got a friend who was quarantined for 28 days. I said, one day, let me empathize with him. Sympathetic reaction. Let me put myself indoor for one day. I couldn't. I nearly go mad. Because psychologically, I thought I'm locked in my room and I can't come and touch my family. I start to panic, and I don't panic generally, you know, as you know. But this time I'm like, so I felt so sorry, like, how is he doing? So we don't know how people are doing it. Some people are really doing it hard. My friend Ivan, you're supposed to have a party coming, you know, So what do you reckon going forward? I mean, how have you thought about it? Because I remember you were saying that you don't know what to do, whether to send, not this year, next year. Please share with us.
I guess one thing that's quite humbling is how limited we are as human beings. That we like to think that we can plan things and life can be predictable, and we like to be in control as much as we can. But life challenges are such that sometimes we're not in control. And what makes Corona special in a way is the fact that we're all not in control together.
Yeah.
And I don't know, personally, I'm not sure. People say, life's not going to be ever the same again. People say, oh, there will never be a normal as we knew it, and all this sort of stuff. But hang on a minute, there's been lots of calamities in the world all through history.
Yeah.
And human beings have a way of bouncing back and holding on to things that are important to them. I mean, to think that there was a Spanish flu 100 years ago. 100 years ago is a long time. However, it's not too distant that we wouldn't pay that much attention to. I mean, we still have videos and things, and photos of 100 years ago. Yeah. And yet you wouldn't have thought our life, prior to COVID wouldn't have given us a perspective of life, in a pandemic, because we somehow had put that far away from our thoughts.
Yes.
How quickly we move, to that stage, I don't know. But I don't feel like it's going to be dramatic. I don't feel like, suddenly we're just going to be the new whatever. But I also think, though, that there's going to be some good things about COVID, in the sense, for instance, we think about working from home. There were some employers that are a bit hesitant, will people be productive and all these sort of things. Well, I think that people are finding out, that there's some good things that we're learning from this, isn't it? Like, I think I'm a little bit excited, if you want to ask me about what happened.
This is the message of hope. Thank you. I need to hear that.
I have a question.
Yes.
So one of our audience is asking us if there is a vaccination that is going to come out. Are we going to all get vaccinated?
Yeah, no, there's no vaccination coming, because we were told that before any vaccination will be produced, it will take like 100 years. It takes a long time to produce one. So what you're going to be getting is probably going to be placebo. And we know they just give it to you and you assume it's going to work for you and it's going to work for you. But there's no vaccination. No, there's nothing in that terms. Liz, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I think, there's a saying that goes, in a dark world, focus on the light. And as we focus on the light, we need to acknowledge that there really is nobody who's holding a crystal ball for us to be able to see through, to know exactly what's going to happen, towards the end of this year, what's going to happen next year, how is life going to change. But definitely, if we look at the light, and I basically had to also do some self-talk in that regard, because initially I was following the news, watching almost every story about COVID and following what's happening in Italy. And, my morale was going down little by little. And then I kind of just changed around and started looking at what are the good things that are coming out of here. There were stories that were coming from China, people who were writing about, how they got through this and what they were doing as a family. And, I kind of started looking at the good things that people were talking about with regards to this time. There's apparently a baby boom that's coming on us, lots of corona babies. There's lots of businesses that were invented, small businesses. So there's lots of beautiful things. People have really become self-reliant. There's lots of gardens that came about due to COVID-19. So, just changing focus to see what can I do? How can I make a difference? And what else do I see out there that is positive that I can probably take or that I can talk about and spread that rather than spreading how many people have died, how many people got infected, and everything else that really puts even the next person into a doom. And I think that's what got me through so far.
Thank you so much. I like that. Another message of hope. But the other thing I'm going to ask us, you're talking about baby, COVID baby and all that. What are the funny things that you heard? I heard something, for example, I'm going to share. Someone said, this is the best time, if you have a relational problem, is the best time that you can solve the problem. And I said, no, it could be the worst time, because who knows if one person is taking advantage of the other. So if there's no COVID, you're not going to solve your problem, because they said it's an opportunity time. It's an opportune time to solve it. Why would you be waiting for an opportune time to solve a relational, especially marital problem? You see, so I think, so what if the COVID goes? Are we going to go back to the marital problem? So if you are an opportunist, you're looking for an opportunity because now we're confined, I can't get rid of you, you are in my space now, I've got to make it work, kind of a thing. Or is it coming from the good place that, you are actually turning a new leaf and actually loving one another as you should? So I kick against that, and I was like, no, I don't want any COVID relational consolation or resolve. Do anybody have anything against my point? Against my point, do you disagree with me that COVID can be a time to solve problem, marital or relational problem? Do you disagree?
I think, I don't know if I disagree, but COVID comes with time. It provides that time that we seemingly did not have. So all of a sudden you've got this time that you can actually sit together with your partner and spend a lot more time rather than the time that you used to make. Initially, we would be making time for each other. Now, there is time. You don't need to make the time. You are sitting with this person, whether you want it or not. This person is in your space. This person is in your face. So now you start observing so many other things. And obviously, as time goes by, we also start putting things at the back of our mind. When I get time, I'm going to address this. When I get time, we're going to talk about this. Now the time is there. And even your subconscious does bring these things that you were saying, I'm going to address this, I'm going to address this. So they are coming to the fore. And I think that's where it comes into, the time to be able to discuss some of these matters. I mean, and against that background, somehow I do agree that it's time to discuss some of these things that we probably did not have time to discuss, but we're in the pigeonhole that says pending, pending, you just keep putting files in, pending, keep putting files in. So I think COVID has come at that time that you are able to, talk to some people. I've been calling people with whom I haven't spoken in about 6 months, so that, it's like that. You have time to realize, wow, there's this person too. And, all of a sudden you are able to say hi to this person and pick it up from where you left off. So it helped for relationships, definitely for me.
Fantastic. One else? Okay. What are the funny things that you have heard? I've said mine. What have you heard? What are the funny things that you've heard in the times of COVID? Or what are the things that you question and you query and you disagree with, like me? Heidi.
Well, because I am in the space of coaching, so my clients and other clients that came to me in this kind of period, a lot of people are considering divorce. So in this time, and I have clients overseas, and they actually had no divorce at this time. So the country is not allowed to you're not allowed to get married, and you're not allowed to get divorced. So
Are you serious?
yes. So this is how it is. The other thing that I heard, I actually read this in an article. In China, in about 4 weeks of COVID, 300 divorce applications were lodged. So definitely the divorce rate is going to go higher up, because I believe, I could be wrong, I'm happy to be wrong, that maybe these people weren't supposed to be together in the first place. And COVID is just pressure cook that just let the steam out all of a sudden, and then it's in their face.
I 100% agree. You know, one of the things that humbled me as well is, and I could not talk as a justice of the peace, I've been signing documents of divorces. All this COVID season, all the documents I've been signing were divorces. And, you know, for me, you know how much I hate divorces. I just hate it because I think it's a waste of time. I just, you know, a lot of times I put myself in people's shoes, because how come I've invested 10, 20, 30 years of my time and now it's gone? How did we get there? How did we, you know, so, but I'm not allowed to talk. So I'll just sign those documents and sign all these papers. I will go home and I want to cry. But thank God that I've got God, because again, you know, as a trained nurse, we're trained to debrief, you know, and meditate. I've started meditating a lot now than even before. So that's one good thing. Meditate on the things that are noble, the things that are wise. That's what I'm meditating upon the word now. So that is helping me a lot. But divorces is high, and it's not just the two people. They say when two elephants fight, it's the grass. How about the people that are associated with them, their families, you know, that how do you handle that? So really, it's a very humbling period for me, but I just have to pray and just let go. I can't do anything. Do anybody want to share anything? Liz, are you okay? I know you've
Yeah, sure, I am. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, in terms of the funny things was some of the baby names that were coming up during this time, really, you know, calling your child a corona.
Please, no. Please, no.
Yeah, no, well, that's exactly the expression I had, no. But then, yeah, there was a video going around with all the names that you can call your child, and that was really the most funniest thing I've seen. I pity all the babies that are coming up, actually. And and you know, the behavior of the people, particularly where I come from, when all the alcohol sales were banned, I mean, the people were literally crying. There are videos going around of people crying for alcohol. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, what? Is this so important? And the other one that really got me laughing was the confession, the drive-through confession. Have you guys seen that?
No. What's
yeah,
that?
so yeah.
What's that?
Drive-through confession. The priest put up a drive-through, should I call it a stall, where people were driving through and they were confessing their sins.
Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh my word!
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that, I'm like, seriously? But then, as Eva said, you know, human beings, we really just know how to bounce back. There's nothing
really
that
funny.
faces us, nothing gets to us. If you have to confess, you'll even go drive through.
I don't know who they're confessing to. They're confessing to the man, or they're confessing to the God above.
Yeah.
But
one interesting thing about Corona, I think there was a lot of creativity on social media.
Yeah.
Like lots of jokes.
Yeah,
and
lots of funny memes.
Yeah, and people, you know, there were the ones of people putting all sorts of things, you know, like bags on your faces,
Yeah.
or, you know, or or Corona stick to make the 1.5 and those are really practical, you know, like we were able to pause and laugh at ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But you know, like things that were also not meant to be funny, that, you know, like something like Trump suggesting that we could be injected with disinfectant.
Yeah.
To cure Corona.
I refuse to listen to it. I refuse to watch it.
I know, but think about it. You're like, is it really real? Like, did I really hear that?
It's a clown, man. It's a clown. It's a joke. Let us talk about that, because
well, you know what? Like, we're talking about things that were funny. I mean, that in one sense is funny. In another isn't so funny, but it's the whole content, isn't it, of what Corona brought to us. The whole.
What if somebody is soft and you actually drink it? You know. So
well, people did. Somebody did in the US. So you know what?
Funny.
Like, if you heard someone say that, you just think, what a joke. Like you won't even think.
Yeah. That was my thought. Yeah.
You know, if someone had a camera like, hey guys, I have a suggestion, let's just drink this or something.
I don't know what context he said it, but you know, some of the things we won't take it seriously. But you know, it's been fantastic. And when you were all talking, I was jotting things down, because you know, on this show, we're bringing ideas together and experiences together and knowledge together. You know, so I hope people have been able to take one or two things from there, because you ladies, even me, I'm laughing at, you know, it's funny. And when I sum everybody's talk up, what you were doing, you're very strong. You're putting a self-talk there, and you're focusing on the light. So there will be gloom, but at the end of the darkness, there's a light. And it's humbling, because a lot of times we're just kind of dead and not being actually sensitive to nothing. We think we're everything, we can do all in all, and we forget God. We put God at the back, you know, back burner. Actually, we just, God, you are there and we're here. We're doing our thing, but he just sent the, well, we wouldn't say he sent it, but he must have allowed it, because nothing happened that he doesn't know about. That this Corona that is very insignificant will make us all humble and appreciating family. So life, we talked about life, your family, be concerned that, you know, you don't want them to be infected. You don't want to be the carrier of this. So you were adhering and to the, you know, the suggestion and the mandate of the government of the land. We're adhering to it. We refuse to go to holidays. We put our parties on hold. That's not significant now. We're going to obey the law and do appropriately. And, you know, Helen as well was thinking about those people that she has to put plastic over, and how she has to drag down a mask and do that all day long, every day, and you go home and sleep. How do you sleep? But thank God that everybody's got the one way, meditation, praying, and everything that we do to elevate this, because there will be, like Ima said, that we went through, you know, we will go through this and we'll come stronger. That 100 years ago, the flu thing, 500 million people died or something.
That's right.
Also, and now, it's not even a long time ago, my grandmother was 104 before she died. So she was alive when that was happening. You see, so it wasn't long ago, and she survived, and we will survive as well. So the message that we're bringing here is message of hope. And thank you. I'm going to share something with Jim Rohn, which I've been looking at these days. Jim Rohn, that says to find, you need to search. To find, you need to search. People don't find because they don't search enough. And so I apply that to us today. You know, this has been a long time coming, but we, you know, kept on searching and finding and pressing, and now we find. Okay, so I have come to discover that when you search enough, you not only are find, but you become the deserving of the find. So ladies, we're all deserving of this find of inquisitive, want to learn, want to know, want to share, and want to impart knowledge into people as well as we're receivers. So we're all coaches, we're all teachers, and we're also students. Because they said the day you stop to learn, that's the day you're dead. You must keep on learning. And if we continue to go, we will go for a long, long time. But I just want to appreciate all of you ladies and thank you for putting everything on hold and all the hiccups that we've had along the line, but it's happening now, so you're well deserving. Thank you so much. And also I want to remember people that have lost people in this time. Yeah. And in this season, we even lost 4 police officers. In this time, we lost a lot of people. These are people. Could be you, it could be me. Could be my family, it could be anyone. So the fact that it's somebody else doesn't mean it cannot be. We're just privileged to still be here. But the thing is, the people that they left behind, how are they feeling? Some people cannot go to the funeral. Some people cannot even go to the court to go and defend themselves. A whole lot of things are happening to them. So we pray that this light that we're shining today, that light will illuminate them as well. They will have the courage to self-talk, self-encourage themselves, seek help from divine, where they want to go and actually get counseling, look for the therapist as well. God has created these people for our use and to help us to build us. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to release it to Heidi. Want to finish off with us? What have we got?
Thank you, Tammy. One more thing before we go. I just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day for all the beautiful mothers in the world, for all the beautiful women in the world, and for the nurture in us, for the beautiful, loving, warm, fuzzy, hot chocolate of women we are, because we shine and we love and we are born to give that love to everybody around us. So happy Mother's Day. I acknowledge you all. I love you all. And we'll see you again next week. So same time next week. Thank you to all our viewers. Thank you to all your comments. I'll go back and comment on everything and answer your questions. Thank you, everyone. And see you again next week. Have a good night.
Next week, you're going to be better and more beautiful. We got it now.
Thank
you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, ladies.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, viewers. Thank you. And a lot of viewers from all over the world. I'm not able to see because I'm focusing on this from England, from US, from Africa, from Japan. You've got no idea how many people are on this watching us, but we're going to go back to, as AD said, and we're going to get back to you. So see you next time. Bye-bye.